Number 19, I need to know the domain and range, but I don't have a graph. It gives me what? The equation. So the equation is in function form, and I know that because I see h of x. What do? Well, let's graph it. So turn your handy-dandy calculator on, go to the y equals screen, and type in the equation, 3x squared plus 5. Now, at this point, you should know that this is not linear. This is a quadratic equation, and I know that because the largest exponent is 2. When I press graph, I see my graph. Uh-oh, that says negative 3x squared, and Ms. Pierce typed in what? Positive 3. So that means what? Fix it. Insert a negative. There it is. Now, a few moments ago, the parabola was pointing up. Now it's pointing what? Down. Well, that makes sense. There's a negative in front. So, it should look just as I've sketched. And what does that mean? Well, the range, remember, range values are represented using ladder steps, so horizontal lines. The range goes all the way up to 5 and it stops. But it goes down forever. So, what would the range be? Well, the range would be, some like to write, I am starting at 5 and I am going all the way to negative infinity. But if you do that, your negative infinity goes here. And I know you guys are used to writing your numbers instead of the infinity sign. So, let me show you how to do that. Negative infinity. We cannot put an equal to because it approaches, but it doesn't ever get there. Infinity and beyond. So no line under it. But it does get to 5. Now, for those of you that can do that, kudos to you. But that is more for Algebra 2, okay? The STAR test is going to hold you responsible for the following notation. Y is what? Less than or equal to 5. So only this piece. They may write it in words and say all real numbers less than or equal to 5. Now let's talk about the domain. Well, I could say that it stops here because you draw vertical lines to cross the x-axis to represent domain. And I could say that it stopped here if I didn't have this arrow on the right side and the left side. So I cannot say that it stops, which means I cannot draw a vertical line on either side. What does that mean? It's approaching, watch this, negative infinity towards the x, and you have to remember x values are vertical, so when I say negative infinity, it means the pencil is sliding to the left. And when I say positive infinity for x, the pencil is sliding to the right while it's standing up. Kind of like a jail cell bar gate. The bars stand up, but they move left and right. So, I cannot draw a line because there's an arrow. I cannot draw a line here because there's an arrow. That means it keeps going in both directions, which means it never stops. Can I draw a line here? No. Here? No. It's still going. Here? No. That line continues on. So what does that mean? All real numbers for the domain. Why is it all real numbers again for the domain? Because you cannot draw a vertical line on either side, given that there are arrows. It's approaching infinity on both sides. And for Algebra 2, that's negative infinity less than x less than positive infinity. Again, that notation you will not be held responsible for the STAR test. But you will know not just that notation, but this is the symbol for all real numbers.